Fit like update. I hope you're all keeping well and welcome to my channel. Now, the postie has been and dropped off a wee parcel to me. Now, fits in it. Fits in this parcel. Is it my birthday? No. Feels like Christmas though. Can't wait to see if it's in. False nails? Did I order it? That kind of mine, but they're bony and shiny, so I'm going to have a look at them. I like shiny things. Now look at that. Wow. Does it fit? Well, that one looks as though it'll fit. But I don't think it'll suit me. What do you think? Am I going loopy? Or am I coming out of the shade? Not quite. I'm just going to bide in the shade. For now anyway. I bought these things for a different reason. Because I love shiny things. And so does a fish. Especially the flukes. The flatfish. I love shiny things. Now, this looks like a spoon. A wee spoon shape. You can see it close up. I bought these nails because they had a painted bit when I ended them. And it actually looks like a spoon. Like a spinning spoon thing for fish. And these things are just a perfect size, I think, for trying out on my rigs for beach fishing for the flatties. So, what do you think? I think they'll work. We'll mark up a rig with them, maybe a couple of rigs, for trying out the next time I'm fishing. And we'll do that just now. But before I do that, just a quick tip for the folk that's new to fishing. Once you've done your beach fishing or any kind of sea fishing, especially sea fishing, you must wash your gear in fresh water when you come back as soon as possible. You might be fishing late at night or early in the morning, you come home, you're tired. So I just hose that thing down. I'm never fussy, but I've just got cheap reels, cheap rods and that. But if you've really expensive reels, you might have to be a wee bit more careful washing the salt off of them. But has to be done forever. I bide in the northeast of Scotland. And a lot of folk can't understand what I'm saying. Because we speak Doric for the northeast of Scotland. And I do try my best on the videos to speak more English for you so you understand, but I can't change the way I speak and a lot of my Doric flows out anyway. Okay? So what I'm starting to do is put some subtitles on the video to help a lot you out. Or you could learn Doric Scots and then you'll understand nothing. But whatever, I hope the subtitles helps you out in understanding a lot of what I'm speaking about. Oh, I want to show you this lure that I've been making. Another handmade lure. Check this out. Now, I just hung them up here out to the road. Oh. A motorbike or something. Oof. motorbike or something gonna walk down the road. It's all happening here. If I try to make videos. It's a wonder the dogs are not gonna feel, because they don't like the motorbikes. Well, anyway, check this lad out. This I made a scene the other day, and I made it out of timber or wood, carved it out of wood. You'll see here I've got stainless wire. I hooked out a channel all the way being here, 15 mil anyway, and this is a continuous stainless wire for here, going bend, and then it comes down into a loop for holding that treble hook, and it continues bend in a loop in the end to hold that treble hook. Now I made a wider kind of channel here for a lead weight to get in. So I put a lead weight in the air, and of course swivel. It's actually a big swivel. So I think you'd take a big fish with us. You'd get a cod or something with it. Now it's painted with nail varnish, and that seals it up, plus puts a bonny colour on. Now check out the great big een on it. Be like a deep water fish. I actually fweeged this een for eyes out of the house. Susan makes memory bears. And this is a lot of een or eyes off of the memory bears, the teddy bears. And she's got a whole stock of them in the house. So I thought to myself, boys, that would be good on a lure. So I fweeged a couple, or half a dozen, then a tailor, and cut the tags off them, the screw bitties, and I made a groove in the timber and glued them in, and it looks pretty impressive. So I put a couple of treble hooks on. Now I've actually weighed it, and it's 48 grams. So you'll get a fair bit of casted out with. Would you catch a bass with that? I don't know. I've tried it out in a sink full of water, and it sinks. It doesn't float, even though it's made of timber. The weight on it is too heavy to make it float. So I think you might get a bass with that. If you're in deeper kind of water, you might get pollock. But I think it would be good in the boat, out in the deeper water. As long as there's not a heap of anglers round about me in the boat. If I was out in the boat myself, or just me and Billy, I would give it a go. I'll maybe give it a go this year actually, because I've got more time now. But what do you think I would catch? How far would you use a thing like that? I'm thinking deeper water, or out in a boat. But let me know in the comments and give some ideas for making stuff or whatever, because I enjoy trying out different things. Now, once again, I want to thank Abdi for subscribing to my channel and watching my videos. I got a lot of views in my last video. Well, it's a lot of views for me anyway, and that's much appreciated. And mind give us a comment, a thumbs up, and them that hasn't subscribed, push that subscribe button. It'll help us out a bit. Right, well, I want to make a beach rig for flips. I'll let you see how I make mine. Abdi's slightly different lengths of snoods, rig bodies, stuff like that. This rig, I'm going to make it a clip down rig again, because I like my clip down rigs. I'll just make this in a 3 hook clip down, and let you see how I did. Of course we'll be trying these things out in this rig. I'm thinking if I just drill a wee hole in the top, see how it works. Now, as you can see, there's different sizes. You can test out to see if it ain't catches best or whatever. I'm going to put a bit of timber on here. Or a piece of wood. As ideal so can it be. So I can drill a hole through here. Hopefully it won't split the false fingernail. Oh, wee hole in it. Another one, different size. I've even got a wee file thing. That might even be handy for shortening hooks. If you've been using a hook for a few times fishing, they tend to get a bit blunt. You can yourself, the hook is really sharp. It just needs to brush up against the fish and you've got him. So I keep your hooks sharp. For my rig body, I'm putting on 60 pound, and this is just a classic 60 pound monofilament. It's nothing fancy, it's no any of your memory stuff or whatever you got. Nothing fancy, just reels got or monofilament that I've got lying about. So I'm going to make use of them. So the first thing I'm going to tie on is an impact clip. You can see here. I like using these things because it just keeps all your hooks together, saves them flopping about like a flopper rig, and make sure they don't tangle and you get a bony cast. And try and get it for you're actually sinking it again where you think the fish is going to be. Now, sometimes I cast and maybe I've let go too early or something, and instead of going for I'm wanting it, it goes away to the right hand side or whatever, but it still goes out. And sometimes that's for the fishes. Now, there's all different sorts of knots. Some really fancy knots. I tie different knots myself, but I'm going to show you a really simple knot that I've been using for years out in the boat, catching cod and stuff, and I've never had no bother with. I'm not sure if you call this knot. If there's somebody out there sees me tying this and they ken the name of this knot, let me ken. Or have I made it up myself over the years? You're never sure. But anyway, I'll try and get you in a boot so you can see if I'm tying. That's the impact clip here. Make sure you've got it the right way up and through the top. That's the 12 pieces alongside each other. And you take the tail end and put it over the leader once. Make a loop. Twice. Make a loop and hit it with your thumb. 3 times. Make a loop and hit the loop with your thumb. And then the tail end, you turn it and push it right through for that side. And grab a hood. Now you've got 3 loops like that over the top of the leader. And the tail end coming out through the hole. Now you try and ease it being a line pull on this side and pull on that side to try and get your nut small as you can get it. Now once you're running with there, you wheat it so that it slides bien and doesn't burn the line when you're tightening it. So, and then you pull it bien till it comes up to your clip. To get done around your hand, pull this a bit tight again and then tighten it up. As you can see, it's a very neat knot. Okay, get a wipe and then cut off your tag end. So I like to leave, it's maybe 4 or 5 mil actually. I like to leave a wee bit more than everybody else, just in case it takes a bit of the tag in if it thickens on him more. But that's that knot, and I've never had no bother with that knot in all the years I've been fishing. And I've hauled up some big cod and everything in the boat with hand lines, just using this knot. And like, maybe 1200 pound gut and stuff like that. We used to use hand lines for what we called the ripper. And with a great big heavy lead with a wire on it, and that was your lead weight to take a line down. And then we had like 200 pound gut with snoods coming off it and great big hooks. They were called great line hooks. Great line hooks. What they used to use in the great lines, or the great lines we called them, for catching cod, and it was all big cod. It was monster cod. The heads were about that size. And when you landed them in the market, you'd maybe get 3, 4 fish in a box. That was a full box. What you got was a head on, and the tail would go out over the top of the box, and then the other cod would go the other way. You'd maybe get 4 in a box, something like that. They were just monsters. It was great to see and great to feel them coming up, and he was pulling them up with the hand lines. But that's on the past now. If you get a cod about 5 or 6 pound now, oh, it's a good fish. You're really happy to see it now. Okay. I'm happy to see a cod it's 2 or 3 pound. It's still good to see. But all that monsters are on the past. If you want a monster like that nowadays, you have to get into Norway or somewhere. But we had all that here, just a stone's throw for the shore. Yeah. Sometimes your line will have a wee kink in it. And if you get like this, heat up your line a bit. Watch you not burn your fingers, because it will burn your fingers. And then pull it. It straightens it out. It's a lot better than it was, you see. Not perfect. Once it weights on here, it'll be fine. I'm making this about 6 feet. The length of your arms is usually about 6 feet. So, or a fathom. It's we used to call it a fathom. But in this day and age, it's 6 feet, or often here. Cut out of that. And the next thing to do is feed on the beads and the swivels. Now I'm putting 3 snoods on this line. Oh, there's a wee spider here. Wee spider. I'm going to shaft him. Put him somewhere out the road. so that I didn't squash them. Now you can buy door here, Paul, and eat the fleas. Hopefully he'll make a web and eat all the fleas. Not as much fleas just now anyway, it's still winter time. Right, as you can see, my shed is really messy. I can't help it, it's just the way I am. I keep tidying things up and then I can't find them. But all this organised chaos here, I can find things. Some things. Well, anyway, what I'm looking for here is, oh yes, things. Found it. It's a crimp. So the first thing we put on, hoping we see us on the camera again, is a crimp. Which I can't see. And I got my glasses on. That's it. One crimp, one bead. I can manage to get on. And then let's see, cascade swivels. They're size 6. That I'm putting on just now. So I'll get a few of them out. Actually, I just need 2 of them because I'm putting on 3 snoods, but I just need 2 with a clap doing bitties that you can see on here, hopefully. Now, this is the top end of the body, so you must put it on like that, so the clap doing bit is pointing down away, and you put it on. So that's that on. Then another bead, and then another crimp. And then same procedure again. Crimp, bead. Well, I'm putting yellow beads on here, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what colour they are. Cascade swivel with the clap pointing down away. Bead again. Another crimp. Crimp. Bead. That's 2 impact claps on already, so the last one I just need an ordinary swivel. Here's a fine smile here, that'll do fine. Get that on. Another bead. What's an orange bead? Well, it doesn't matter, we'll stick him on now. That's it. Impact clip, crimp, bead, cascade swivel, bead, crimp, crimp, bead, cascade swivel, bead, crimp, crimp, bead, ordinary swivel, bead, and another crimp. So it should look like that. Then the next thing to do is to mark up the snoods. We'll leave us like this just now, and we'll mark up 3 snoods. Now if it's not half clear what I'm doing, just rewind the video back a bit and check again, okay? And you'll get it. That's it, bike a while back up the road again. Now I'm putting on size 1/0 hooks. Want that's right. Sometimes I work 2/0, size 2/0. That's in. I'm putting on size 1/0 Aberdeen hooks. These are just the standard Aberdeen hooks. And I'm going to put a wee twist on them. So I just take a hold of the hook like that and make a wee bend on them. Hope you see that in the camera. He's got a wee twist. I think they catch a wee bit better like this, but you can just fish a standard hook. Yeah, I still get a lot of fish on a standard hook, but it's good to put a bend on them like that. I think they catch better. Now for the snoods, I'm going to put on 40-pound gut. Now I like to work really light gear on a beach, going for flukes, so the gut or monofilament is invisible to them, just in case it puts them off. But I'm using 40-pound because they're clipped down, and when I cast them out, it's just taking a wee bit of the strain on a line as you're casting out. So you don't want it to be much thinner than that. It's not a fancy gut again. It's GT Sports, high quality or something, as you can see here. Maybe some of you out there will understand what that means. To me it's just gut anyway. And up down to the house and got my glasses, so I can see what I'm doing. Right, we've got our size 1/0 Aberdeen hook, which I offset with the pliers. We'll do the same knot again as for the tied on the bottom of the rig body. Through the eye, pull the tail end alongside the snood body, under and over, make a loop so that your snood body is coming through the middle of the loop. So it's 1 loop, 2 loops, put it with your thumb, 3 loops, and then put the tail end through the middle of the loops, and then tighten it, slowly tighten it down, not too tight, then weight the knot, pull it in, and when it's near enough the hook eye, pull it tag end, tighten it a wee bit more, pull it in, turn on your hand and tighten it. And that's it. Bone and neat knot. And as I say, I've never had bother with a knot. Clip off a tag in and just leave a bit of a tag. Maybe 4mm. Then I do it. Makes it a bit straighter. Now we're going to make a snoods 20 inches. Once you tie the knot onto the swivel, it'll be a bit shorter than that. Right, we're going to put down some beads. 1 red bead, try an orange in, another orange in. Now you can put on any combinations you want. And we'll put our false nail on now. And we put a black bead on and 2 green beads. And we've ended up with that. Now, in that bunny, here's 2 that I've made earlier, and I put a pop-up bead, it's a floating bead, on them as well, and that keeps it up off the ground just a wee bit. helps maybe stop a crab's eat in the bait. And only kind of movement and flashing of this fingernail thing will attract the flatties in a boot. They like to see movement and colours and things flashing in it. A bit of bling. Now there's another tip I'm going to show you. Check this out. I hope you see this in the camera. There's a wee black bit here, and that's my stopper. As you can see, that's moving about. Now I can pull that down. Don't make it too tight because you want this to move, but it keeps everything in place. And then if you're putting on a ragworm or a logworm and feeding through your hook, you want this up a wee bit more. So you're putting your worm up past there, and then you can adjust that. This wee stopper keeps everything in place. I'll let you see how I made that. This is an all electrical tester thingy. It's knackered, it's not working now. So there's a couple of wires on it. And fit off Dean, I'll take this plug out so it's easier. You strip the end of it off so the copper wire is showing, and then snap off maybe an inch and a half like that. And take your pliers and get a hold of the copper wire. Slowly tease that out. Yeah, just like that. You're left with the outer covering of the wire with a thin hole in the centre of it. Then for a D, I snap bitties off. Just like that. That's the size I've snap it off. But they don't need to be that size. They can be any size you want. They can be a wee bit longer or whatever. But for this rig, that's just a fine size. What I found was, when you snap them off, it kind of squashes them slightly. So it makes it a wee bit more awkward to get your monofilament line into the hole. So I take a small sharp hook, poke it into the hole a wee bit, turn it, just to make the end a wee bit easier to put the line through. This is an awkward bit if your eye section is good. Put this in here. Now if you manage to get it into the hole, twist it round as you're pushing it onto the line, and grab a hold of the tag end and pull it through. It moves quite easily. Wherever you leave it, it'll just bide there. Pull that down to your beads. Leave a wee bit of slack. Like that. And that's the 3 snoods made up. Now as I said, I've got 2 pop-up beads. That's float-in beads on this too. And I actually stuck them in a sink of water. And they actually stand up like that. So it might have been better putting the float nearer the hook. But I'll try it like this anyway. Try it on different ways. Try different ways yourself, because your ways might work a lot better than my ways can. But keep trying things, experimenting with the different beads. Now I seen, there's no float and bead in this scene. I'm just leaving it like that. But as I say, you can put a lot of beads on, all different colours, the same colour, or whatever. Put one fingernail on, or don't even put a fingernail on. Now to tie them onto the main rig body. The rig body hanging up here, and we'll start with the bottom swivel. And through the swivel, your snood. Now it's the same knot again, alongside, exact same knot as what I've been using. 1, 2, 3, and then put the tail end through. Close that doing, weight it, and then pull tight. That's it. Snap off the tag end, and your next snood on the second swivel up through the cascade swivel. Same again. 1, 2, 3, push through the loops. Tighten it down a bit. And that's it. Fine neat knot. Snap off the tag end, leave a bit. Your third snood through the top swivel. Same knot again, really simple knot, simple and quick. 1, 2, 3, and through the loops. Weed it and tuck in. Very simple. Right, that's your 3 snoods on. I'm going to pull the first 2 snoods up and hang them over the top of here out of my rod. Put a small weight on here, and your hook's clipped in. Slide that up, slide that crimp up until your snood is a wee bit tighter than the main rig body. And take a pliers, if you've got a crimp pliers even better, but I haven't, so I'm just using this wee nippers, and squash your crimp in. As you can see, your snood is slightly tighter than the rig body, and that's holding that hook in there, like that. And then crimp your top crimp, but don't crimp it too tight, because you want this swivel to be freely moving about back and forth. So push this bead up slightly, not a lot, just slightly, and then crimp your top crimp. Just like that. That's plenty to hold it. I wouldn't crimp it too much, or you'll maybe cut into the line, but you've got the idea of it. And then you take your next hook and hook it in to the cascade clip, and take a hold of the next crimp up and push it up until you tighten the snood and the main body is slightly slacker. Then once again squash in your crimp, chin the next crimp up, but get a wee bit of slack to allow your swivel to spin round. That's it. And then repeat it for the next thing up. And you should end up with that. Now, I tied a hook on at the top of the rig, just for now, till I tied on all that snoods. Because it can be really awkward tying these things on and trying to get a good view on a camera for you guys to see what I'm doing. But anyway, I'm going to snap this hook off now. I'm going to tie on a swivel on the top. Now, as you can see, there's not much left for the rig now. It's been getting shorter with me tying on that hook, and then it's going to get shorter again with me tying this swivel on. But that's okay. You can tie your swivel really close to the top end, and it shortens your line a wee bit. Exact same knot again, fine and simple. Through you go. Right, now I'm getting as close as I can, and then 1, 2, 3, and then push it through the loops. Weed it and then pull it tight. It's another handy wee pliers. You can stick it in a hard bitty and then you get really tight. Snap off at dog end. Not you. Now I'll hang this back up and actually let you see the hooks working as they should when you cast out. You clip them on, cast out, since it hits the water, everything releases. And I'll let you see that in now. I have actually showed this on another video of mine, but for them it isn't seen. I'll let you see again. Right, your bottom hook hooks into the impact clip. Then your next hook hooks in just like that. And your third hook hooks on the clip. And that's your rig all set, ready to cast. Well, once you've bait on and off, obviously. But I'll let you see if it happens once it hits the water. It releases all the hooks. Just like that. They work great at clip doings. Keeps everything fine and neat for casting out. And I like working on them. And then I just roll them up. Like that. And pop them into a bag. A lot of folk prefers your winders, to wind them on your winders. But it's bags that I've got. They don't seem so bulky. I can carry them in my pouch if I want. So I hope you got a few good tips off my video. And if there's any wives, or girlfriends, or even boyfriends, going to look out their false fingernails, and there's maybe just 8 of them instead of 10, don't blame me. But I think they'll work. So look out for the video that I'm using these on the beach. And see how I get on. I mean, you get a lot of different colour fingernails now, really bright colours, oranges, reds, pinks. I think they would all work good for the flatties. So you've seen it here first, fingernail rigs. Or have you seen it here first? Probably no. I would say somebody's used that before me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Mind give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, say if it like. That's it for now. Take care of die, and I'll catch you after.